The sun rises slowly over a forgotten Filipino village where the roads are made of dust and time seems to stand still. In a small wooden shack at the edge of the barangay, a boy steps outside barefoot, feeling the cool earth beneath his feet. He has no parents to wake him, no school uniform to wear, no breakfast waiting on the table. What he does have is a voice, and a song that refuses to leave his heart. Every morning, before the village stirs to life, he sings. His classroom is the open sky, his audience the palm trees swaying gently in the breeze. From an old, cracked radio scavenged from the trash, Hotel California plays on repeat. He doesn't understand every English word, but he understands the feeling. The loneliness, the longing, the sense of being trapped yet dreaming of escape. Each lyric feels like it was written for him. As the day grows warmer, neighbors pause in their routines. A woman carrying water slows her steps. A fisherman rests his net. Children stop playing. They listen as the boy's voice floats through the air, raw, aching, and impossibly mature. Some whisper that his singing sounds like pain turned into music. Others quietly wipe away tears. At night, under a single flickering streetlight, he practices again. His feet are dusty, his stomach empty, but his voice is full. He closes his eyes and imagines a place far away, where people listen, where his song matters. In that moment, he is no longer an orphan, no longer invisible. He is free. In a village that has almost nothing, a barefoot boy unknowingly carries something priceless, a voice powerful enough to travel across oceans and change his destiny forever. The day the boy leaves his village feels unreal, like a dream he's afraid to wake up from. Before sunrise, he stands at the edge of the dirt road with a small, worn backpack slung over his shoulder. Inside it are the only things he owns: an extra shirt, a folded piece of paper with his audition number, and the hope that his voice might carry him somewhere his feet never could. He is still barefoot. No one asks him to change that. As the old bus rattles away from the village, he presses his face to the window, watching palm trees blur into the distance. This is the farthest he has ever traveled. The noise, the movement, the unknown ahead make his heart pound. Without parents to hold his hand or reassure him, he whispers the lyrics of Hotel California under his breath, letting the melody calm his nerves. At the airport, everything overwhelms him: the bright lights, the echoing announcements, the endless stream of people rushing past. He clutches his backpack tightly, afraid of getting lost, afraid of being told he doesn't belong. Some stare at his bare feet and worn clothes, but he keeps walking, step by step, reminding himself why he is here. When the plane lifts off, fear turns into wonder. He looks down at the clouds and feels something he has never felt before: possibility. Somewhere beyond those clouds is a stage, judges, and an audience who have no idea who he is or where he comes from. All they will hear is his voice. As the plane flies toward America, the boy closes his eyes and imagines standing under bright lights, singing with everything he has. This journey, made without shoes and without parents, is the first step toward a life he never dared to dream, but one he is finally brave enough to chase. The theater is louder than anything the boy has ever known. Thousands of voices blend together, lights flash, cameras glide across the room. Backstage, he stands alone, barefoot on a cold, polished floor that feels nothing like the warm earth of his village. His hands tremble, not from fear alone, but from the weight of this moment. One song, one chance. A stage assistant gently calls his number. His heart races as he walks forward, each step echoing in his ears. When he reaches the center of the AGT stage, the noise slowly fades. He looks up and sees the judges for the first time, especially Simon Cowell, whose serious expression makes his throat tighten. The audience notices his bare feet, his small frame, his quiet posture. Whispers ripple through the crowd. The music begins. For a brief second, he hesitates. Then he closes his eyes and sings the first line of Hotel California. The sound that comes out of him is soft but haunting, filled with loneliness and truth. The room changes instantly. Conversations stop. Phones lower. Even the cameras seem to freeze. As the song continues, his voice grows stronger, carrying stories of loss, survival, and hope. It doesn't sound like a boy copying a famous song, it sounds like someone living it. The echoes of his voice wrap around the theater, reaching every corner, every heart. The judges lean forward. The audience forgets to breathe. A single note hangs in the air, stretching time itself. When he finishes the verse, the silence is absolute, heavy, sacred, unforgettable. In that moment, the boy realizes something profound. No matter what happens next, he is no longer alone. His voice has been heard. As the final notes of Hotel California fade into the air, the boy lowers the microphone slowly, his chest rising and falling. For a heartbeat, there is nothing, no applause, no cheers, just a silence so deep it feels like the world has stopped. The boy wonders if he has done something wrong. Then the camera cuts to the judge's table. Simon Cowell sits unusually still. The sharp skepticism that usually defines his expression is gone. His eyes remain locked on the barefoot boy, not as a judge searching for flaws, but as someone struggling to understand what he has just felt. He leans back, exhales, and shakes his head slightly, as if words have failed him. The audience begins to react, first a few gasps, then scattered claps. Within seconds, the entire theater erupts. A standing ovation crashes over the stage like a wave. The boy blinks, stunned, unsure whether the noise is real or just another dream. Tears glisten in his eyes. Simon stands up too. He doesn't rush for the buzzer. He doesn't speak right away. He simply stands, applauding slowly, deliberately. The gesture says more than any speech ever could. This isn't pity. This is respect. When Simon finally reaches for the microphone, he pauses again, choosing his words carefully. His voice is calm, almost quiet, yet the room listens intently. That, he says, was not a performance. That was a moment. The boy's knees feel weak. He grips the microphone tighter, barely able to breathe. In Simon Cowell's stunned silence and measured praise, he understands the truth. He hasn't just impressed a judge. He has changed one. And with that, his life begins to turn in a direction he never imagined possible. Backstage, the noise of the crowd still echoes, but the boy can barely hear it. His ears ring, his hands shake, and tears finally fall, tears he has held back for years. A staff member gently wraps a towel around his shoulders, another offers him water, small gestures that feel overwhelming to someone who has lived so long without care. For the first time, he feels seen. Producers and crew members smile at him, some whispering that his performance was unforgettable. He doesn't fully understand their words, but he understands their eyes. They look at him with pride, not pity. Somewhere behind the curtain, the judges are still talking about him. His name. As the night ends, he sits quietly, feet still bare, replaying the moment in his mind, the lights, the silence, Simon Cowell standing. It feels like a doorway has opened, one he never knew existed. The song that once kept him company in the dark has now carried him into the light. News of his performance spreads quickly. Clips travel across oceans, reaching people who have never set foot in his village. Strangers leave messages of love, offering help, opportunity, and hope. The boy who once sang to empty streets is now heard by the world. Yet, what changes him most isn't fame or applause. It's belief. Belief that his voice has value. Belief that his past does not define his future. Belief that even a child with no shoes and no parents can leave a mark that lasts. As he looks toward the future, one truth is clear: Hotel California will always be more than a song. It is the moment a barefoot Filipino boy turned pain into music and changed his life forever.